Scorpio, you may be shedding an old skin or otherwise letting go of the old, or at least going through some major transformation involving death and rebirth. While I was connecting to your energy, I had a lot of snake and serpent imagery come through, and this is actually really fascinating to me because serpents are one of the animals that represent your zodiac sign. Of course, you have the scorpion, but you also have snakes as well as wolf, eagle, and even the phoenix. I believe there is one other. Comment down below if you know what it is. I think there's like 7 different symbols for Scorpio. So this does feel like it could be some sort of archetype for yourself that is coming in right now, and specifically one that involves wisdom, cunning, and maybe even choice. And of course, again, shedding is very thematic for snakes because they literally do shed a skin. They do outgrow who they are and need to leave that behind. And so some of you might be at this kind of choice point. Do I choose the new or the old? And it kind of feels like this push to go into the new because you have outgrown something or you are about to. I did also get the image of a door, and specifically a door with a window, and I was kind of like trying to peek up and through this window. I couldn't see anything, but it made me feel like there is an opportunity or a new chapter in front of you, Scorpio, but before you open that door, you want to know what you're getting yourself into. And that could also be kind of a connotation of the snake as well. Obviously, there can be like some sort of association with deception or kind of that darker cunning. But I really don't necessarily think that's the case for most of you. This feels more like a shedding and kind of like being between chapters or being between identities or selves, which is quite interesting. Maybe some of you are even doing parts work. Another thing that kind of came to me with the serpent, I did specifically see like serpents in my hands and kind of felt that sort of slithering sensation. And this can actually make me think of Ophiuchus, which is a constellation which actually does overlap with your zodiac sign, which is quite interesting. Some people call this the 13th sign. I don't view that in astrology myself personally, but I do look at fixed stars, and I do look at other constellations anyways. I think everything has an influence. I just don't see it as another sign personally. But I do think there could be some sort of connection to that window of time when the sun is transiting Ophiuchus, or there is a planet in Ophiuchus, and I believe the sun transits it from like the end of November to the middle of December. So that might be a time window whenever you're watching this reading that is significant to you, or maybe it's kind of interesting to note what is transiting that sign or transiting that that constellation, really. So I'm kind of giving you a little more work there. Sorry about that, but there could be something to learn. And I know that Ophiuchus does have a lot of connotations with healing as well. Kind of the Asclepius symbol of medicine is also very connected to Ophiuchus, so maybe there is some sort of like healing crisis, or maybe you are stepping into the role of healer. So lots of really rich symbols coming through already. I'm so curious to see what comes into the cards, or comes in with the cards for you, Scorpio. But before we get too far in here, I do just want to give my usual disclaimer that these are general readings, meaning not all the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to you to use your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. And I really invite you to even pause this video for a moment and just really connect with your body so you can really feel in your whole being what resonates with you versus what should be left behind for somebody else. These are timeless readings, meaning that you are welcome to watch this whenever it reaches you. And maybe there are some mentions of astrology, but just kind of think back to the moment of time that we are talking about if we do that, or maybe there's something happening in the next sort of transit or cycle that is upcoming for you if we do reference that. I do also have links in the description of this video for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. You can book all of that on my website. I actually do have a sale which is about to end on October 17th. You can get 20% off using the code Eclipse20 on any of my services. So if you're ready for a deep dive, now is a great time to do that. So I'm curious to see what comes through for you, Scorpio. And I actually did just have a bunch of cards fall out. But the two that actually landed on the table here we have the Seven of Cups and the Three of Swords coming out. So this is a really emotional energy for sure. The Three of Swords often does indicate some sort of ending or some sort of loss. Maybe some of you did deal with a deceptive individual, or there was like someone who betrayed you or deceived you in some way. And it's kind of left you feeling like, can I even trust myself with the Seven of Cups? Something acute has happened with the Three of Swords, some sort of heartbreak or some sort of setback, and it felt really personal to you for some reason. And I'm really looking at the Seven of Cups as like, what is up, what is down? So it feels like there's been a lot of confusion in the recent past. And I almost get this expression or like this feeling, someone wasn't who you thought they were. This person wasn't who you thought they were. And it could be you, which is interesting. It could kind of apply on a lot of different levels. But that came to my mind pretty clearly, like this person isn't who I thought they were. Tell us more. Yeah, this could have been involving a relationship or even a family member with the Ten of Cups, or at least someone who felt like family. It really made you rethink what happiness means for you. Because I really pulled this Ten of Cups as like advice. What have we gained? What did we learn from this past? Even if it was a bit painful, even if it was confusing or deceptive. You've learned a lot about what your happiness looks like, Scorpio. And that might actually surprise you. There could be some sort of major perspective shift. Maybe re-examining relationships or your belief systems, maybe re-examining your values. You thought you had to be a certain way to be happy, but maybe there is something that has changed, or maybe there are different ways for you to attain this happiness, this fulfillment, this interconnectedness. I almost feel like some of you might have given up on dreams in order to be in a situation or a relationship with somebody. And if that ended, it's almost like an opportunity for you to choose what makes you really happy. And to choose relationships that are actually healthy and aligned for you. So what else do we have for Scorpio? What else do we have for Scorpio? Wow, Page of Cups. This honestly feels like your energy to me, Scorpio, but it could represent a new person coming into your life, a new offer of some kind. Maybe this is what this new door represents for some of you. It could be a relationship or some kind of connection, or someone making like a very personal or heartfelt gesture or offer to you. But this really feels like it's about you opening your heart again, especially after some sort of setback or betrayal or confusion. What's interesting is I'm also kind of getting this message, or like this almost sentence, like someone talking to you like, well, I didn't say that to you, like almost like gaslighting you potentially. It could be true though. I don't really know. Like maybe you did make an assumption about someone, but I really feel like there could be some gaslighting that went on too. That just kind of popped in while meditating on the energy or connecting with the energy just now. I am also getting the Four of Wands. So it does feel like there is something in your life that you are celebrating. There is an achievement for you, or something that is going to the next level for you. And this feels like a personal achievement, actually. Like there's something that you are celebrating, that you've attained, or that you have done that feels really good. And it's like going to that next level. And again, it does feel like a portal or a door is opening for you right now. And it's important that you put your heart and love into that. Some of you might also be connecting with someone that you met at a party or at some sort of celebration too. I could potentially see that with this combination as well. So what else do we have for Scorpio? What else do we have for Scorpio? What is up ahead? What is the change? What is the challenge here? Wow. Wow. Very interesting combination. We have the Two of Cups with the Hermit. This could be involving a Virgo, quite literally, but I think that this is something, there is some sort of major decision. It could very much be about a relationship for some of you. And it feels like you really need to go and check in with yourself before you commit to something. I need to clarify something. Tell me about this Page of Cups and Two of Cups. Someone might be trying to make amends with you with the Six of Cups and the Five of Wands. Maybe there was a conflict with this person who hurt you or betrayed you in the past, or you just weren't on the same page. It kind of feels like it's a little blurry as to what actually happened objectively, if I could be so honest. Yes, there might have been some gaslighting, but it feels like there was just confusion here. And maybe like projection that was going on. That's actually what I'm getting. Like I feel like there was some sort of projection and someone didn't live up to something, or something unexpected happened or developed. I feel like there could be someone coming in, maybe a Virgo, reconnecting to you from the past who you had some sort of conflict with, or maybe you're reaching out to this person. There could be some sort of making amends here. But what's really interesting, and what I was actually trying to clarify, is I feel like some of you are actually saying no to this, this offer or whatever this is. Maybe you accept the apology, but it's like, I'm good, like, I'm just going to leave it at that. Because even though the Page of Cups can be a really beautiful and sweet energy, it can also lack experience or maturity or seriousness. There could be potentially a lack of depth. And like, I was kind of wondering, is this like a person who on paper might seem really good, but it's just like, there's just something that's not there. Like, you just don't feel this way about this person. It could be that this is a person who you have history with, and it's just not feeling like this is meant to be for you, which is kind of interesting. Because it's almost like you see where it goes, Scorpio. Even if this is a new person or opportunity for you, it's like you've had something similar, or there's something that is just kind of bringing you back to the past, where it's like, I know what this is going to be. I know where this is leading. And it kind of feels like you're choosing to sit with yourself, with this Hermit. You're choosing to sit in your own power and connect to your own light. And I really encourage any of you to do this with whatever is going on in your life right now, to kind of pull back your energy to connect with this inner fire, this inner knowing. And that could very well be that snake energy. That it could kind of be that more deceptive, nefarious archetype of the snake too. And like, you might even make amends with this person, but that doesn't mean that you're like throwing yourself back in that relationship or that situation with the Hermit. So that's interesting. And if this is a new connection, maybe some of you are just kind of coming into it very slowly. Like, it feels like your foot's in the door. And that's kind of what I was getting at the beginning. It's like, yeah, there's this door, there's this window, you're trying to like look into it, you're trying to see what's on the other side. I personally didn't see anything on the other side. But it feels like you really need to kind of like find resolve in yourself here. What are you doing? What do you want? Because maybe you want different things or something different than what is being offered to you. And it's really important to be discerning there. And that might have also been a lesson or message from the past. You had different expectations of things with the Seven of Cups. And you kind of had to learn through confusion or ambiguity, even if it was painful. And we have the Strength card coming in the future. Leo energy here as well. But the Strength card really is about like emotional composure. You know, calming or taming this beast. And I want to even say desire. Like you might really feel attracted or desire something or someone, but it feels like you're being much more measured in like, do I jump into this? How much of myself do I put into this? How much do I invest into this? It feels like you're kind of taking a very slow or even like disengaging approach. You're like biding your time, which feels like serpent energy to me as well. Yeah, biding your time. Six of Coins. Like you really want something where there is a good balance of give and take. And someone might be offering you something that's like a charity or generosity or a gift, but it's almost like there's strings attached to it with the Four of Cups. So that's interesting to me. There may be a gift where it's like there are strings attached, or there is like an offer where there are strings attached, or something that is like a little bit manipulative about it. So that might be something to kind of keep in mind too. Like if something seems too good to be true, it might actually be that way, I hate to say. But I feel like you have a lot of strength. You know what it is that you really want. And if this is your reading, like, I think it's important that you don't settle on that. And that doesn't mean that something couldn't develop into something that you want, or there couldn't be like other things that could make you happy. But it's just important that you aren't compromising on that, or that you aren't compromising and thinking that it's going to change at some point down the road. Like being very realistic, very grounded as you're kind of navigating relationships, but also matters of the heart, like things that are important to you too. What is going on for Scorpio? Anything else? Any other messages we should be aware of? I may pull some animal cards for you in just a moment too. What are the messages for Scorpio? Let me see. We have the Star, which is often about a sense of direction and healing. You know, we use the stars as kind of a point of navigation, or at least we used to. And it's this sort of general sense of direction or calling. Even if we don't know what's on the road ahead of us, we know what we need to do next or where we need to go next. And yeah, I think you actually do sort of know, like, where things are going. You're very aware. You're very perceptive right now, Scorpio. And I feel like there is something about you needing to let go of an old version of yourself, or old situations, or old relationships, maybe old dramas or conflicts as well. And really move in the direction of healing. And I mean, that can look very different for different situations. So whatever healing looks like for you, it's important that you kind of embrace and really implore what that is. Very, very interesting energy. What is going on for Scorpio kind of financially or career-wise? Because it does feel like there's some sort of achievement, and maybe there's something that you are celebrating, and that's when someone's kind of coming back into your life to either congratulate you or to celebrate you in some way. what is going on for Scorpio relative to career and finances? We do have the Father or King of Swords here, which is very much about strategy and success, being very logical and very decisive, very clear with your visions and with your goals. And I'm for some reason getting like impeccable actions and words is a specific phrase that is coming up with this owl. So being impeccable with your deed and words feels important. And it's like you're almost expecting other people in your life to embody that. For people to be close to you, they have to be impeccable. They have to be very true to what they say they are. But I think you yourself are coming up with this plan. You have this sort of vision for your future. Yeah, the Emperor. This is really looking good if you are in business for yourself or looking for a promotion of some kind. There's a lot of growth that could be happening, and like you get to kind of enact your own sense of vision for things with this combination. This could also be coming during Aquarius season, which is the end of January to end of February. This could also be some time period where there's a success or celebration for you regarding finances, but it feels like you are leveling up in some way. And in that sort of time period, we do have a new moon in Leo, which is your astrological 10th house of career and new beginnings. So that could be literally a time of promotion as well for you, or like some sort of project or something that is being enacted in your career. And that's not to say that there couldn't be growth before then. It just feels like there is some sort of potentiality around that time period where there is growth or something that is kind of beginning anew. Maybe you're planning for this next chapter around that time. Yeah, there is something coming with the Four of Swords and you feel it. And like maybe you're even gaining your energy for what is coming next, or recharging your energy for what is coming next. Because I look at this Four of Swords, this lamb, as like, I know exactly what's coming. And I know some people look at this specific card and feel it's very sinister. But for me, I look at this card and I see this lamb, and it's in the perfect spot for these swords to not fall on it. And we see this very open third eye here, this kind of open awareness and perceptiveness. I know what's going to happen next. I just need to stay where I am and something will come here. So there could be some major growth that feels quite interesting. Something is coming, and I think you know it. You're trusting in your intuition and you're being very logical about it. You're making plans here. And I do feel like there will be a lot of success and you can kind of rest easy or rest assured here. Anything else for Scorpio? Anything else for Scorpio? Yeah, it does feel like there's a transition or moving on. Six of Swords, this is basically the whole theme of the reading. It's leaving kind of the baggage behind and moving into calmer waters or something brighter, something more exciting, more fulfilling. Really feels like this Ten of Cups. Like, you are progressing towards your happiness, even if there are things that you thought were going to be a part of your happiness that kind of ended up not working out. You are still on the right track. I really get that, Scorpio. I'm going to pull an animal card for you now. So let's see. What is the animal energy for Scorpio to embody, or any messages for Scorpio? Show us clearly, please. Wow, we have the Scorpion coming right out here. And it's funny because sometimes when this card comes up, it's like you just need to address a conflict or some sort of situation where there is heat, kind of dealing with some toxicity or some poison in a very direct way. And even though the threat might seem small, it can be painful or have a sting to it. But it's not something to be freaked out about either. It's just like you need to address some sort of conflict or some sort of energy. And I know with the Scorpion energy from this deck, it talks about being very feisty, very spunky, being very career-oriented or working towards progress. So it does feel like you are growing in some direction. And Scorpions do also go through a molting or shedding process as well. So I think you have literally outgrown an old version of yourself. And it's almost like the offer that's coming in, it's like something that you thought you'd wanted or something you did want before, but now that you're here at this point in your life, it's like, actually, I'm good. I don't want that. I don't want that with this particular person, or I don't want that kind of relationship, or I don't want that kind of job. Like, there's something that has changed and you want something more or different. Any other energies for Scorpio to embody? We have the fish coming out as well. This can be kind of like feeling lost in the tides or currents, or like trying to go with the flow, but I almost get the sense of like swimming upstream. Maybe it feels like things have been a struggle right now. And it's important that you kind of go in the direction of ease for you. So if something feels like it's just been an uphill battle and it's just been such a struggle and nothing has come of it, and you're not getting any sort of fruits from your labors, maybe there is a different direction you're supposed to be swimming in. I do feel like that is important to point out for some of you. Maybe you are still attached to some sort of old success or identity or goal, and that's the thing that is changing. I think there's one more message. We do have the dragon. Very kind of serpent energy here. Dragon is all about the solar plexus chakra. And this is all about Agni, your inner fire, your inner light. And that's what we got with the Hermit before. Like, it's important to connect with this inner light, this inner flame, because some of you have kind of lost this passion or will. And it's important that you reconnect with that. And maybe some of you are clearing out your solar plexus chakra, or working with this energy, or just trying to find that inner fire. And seeing beauty in the world, seeing passion in the world, seeing the world through new or alive eyes is really, really important. I keep getting aliveness with this energy. And like, the dragon does have a very powerful destructive quality to it too. I mean, dragons can obviously like burn things down. They can breathe fire. But it's not about wielding it in a destructive way. It's not about wielding your power or energy in a way that destroys or doesn't serve you. It's about the strength card. It's about taming that inner fire or honing it. Where did that card go? I know we had the strength card. There it is. Yeah, literally finding your strength as I'm searching for this card. It's like you are finding a strength in yourself that you didn't even know you had. I think you are so much bigger than you realize, Scorpio. You have such a fire, you have such a soul, you have such a purpose. And you might not even realize how small you have kept yourself. And I think it came from a place of fear, where if you were too big, you couldn't be loved by the people you wanted to be loved by. And that could go back to childhood as well. But yeah, this strength, this kind of using this power in a very controlled way. So you really are going through like a kind of glow up, or kind of an ascension here, or like really finding who you are in your heart or in your core, realizing your potential. So beautiful, beautiful stuff. I feel like there's actually a lot of really powerful things that are happening, and it almost feels powerful to say no to things that don't serve you or that you no longer feel aligned with. And those are all the messages I have for you right now, Scorpio. I do hope that this was helpful. And if you've made it this far, if this resonated for you, if this is your message, give me that dragon emoji so I know. I realize that this was a bit of a long reading, so I appreciate those of you who made it to the end here. And of course, be sure to hit like, subscribe, the bell notification, so you can stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. It also helps me continue putting these messages out for all of you. And again, I do have a sale on my website for the next few days. You can get 20% off all of my services using the code ECLIPSE20 at checkout. And I will see you in the next video, Scorpio. I'm sending lots of love and blessings your way. Take care.